All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to QuadR Podcast. How you doing, Roy?
Awesome, awesome.
Oh,
We've got a quote today, right?
yeah, we do have a quote today. So, new thing we're going to try here at the QuadR, we're going to run some quotes from famous wrestlers or wrestling coaches. So let's see, quote number one. All right, so this is from friend of the show, Tom Brands. Well, well, if he knew about the show, he'd be a friend of the show.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
right. So there's no secret to success. The secret is there is no secret. Work hard and win the right way. Tom Brand. So, what do you got? What do you think about that one, Roy?
Yeah, but to me that's like typical Iowa marketing. You
Yeah,
know, we did more than you. We did more push-ups. We did more benches. We ran more stairs. We slapped the mat harder than you. Just,
right.
you know,
so,
all part of the Iowa intimidation off the mat thing.
yeah, right. I mean, there is some of that too, but then, like, if you think about it from the context in like wrestling and lessons learned in life and things like that, I always felt that um, wrestling practice was always like, I guess it was hard, but it was just what you did, right? And then
Mhm.
like when you get into situations later in life and you're participating in things with other people, and whether it's like labor or whatever it might be, and like they're like and they're whining and you're like, this is easier than wrestling practice. I think it does
Right.
teach you a good work ethic and things like that. So there is something like I've always preached this to people about, like, if you're gonna do something, do it right, do it hard, and that's how you make opportunities for yourself. So, but yeah,
But yeah, if you're watching somebody who's doing better than you, it's almost always like the time they put in and the effort per minute they're putting in. Like it's not a secret that people are hiding from you.
right, yeah, and it does pay off, right? If you're the guy in the
Yeah.
front of the run, you're probably gonna be a little better shape during your match that week than if you're the guy who's behind the heavyweights, at the back of the run. So, yeah, there's some lessons there, but yeah, definitely it definitely fits for Tom and the Iowa brand, without a doubt. So, all right. Anything else going on? I finally went for my first bike ride yesterday. I got a goal this year of putting 1,000 miles on. So
Okay.
uh, I did 10, so 100 more of those, and I'll be
Yeah, that's,
there.
that's doable. It's late April.
Yeah, right. No, yeah.
Like,
I think I got 800 yesterday, and I mean last year. Sorry, not yesterday. And I really didn't try to get to 1,000 until like August. Then I started adding it up. I'm
yeah.
like, oh, I got to start riding. But putting in that many miles yesterday, or I keep saying it, putting that many miles in last year, like, really made me feel like, going up the hills and stuff like that. My muscle memory was good. I didn't feel so bad. Usually the first ride of the year is not so fun, but yeah, for sure. So let me go ahead and jump in and hit the uh, podcast. I am going to actually uh, pause for a second, let the dog out of the room. I'll edit this out of the video. All right, we're back. Awesome. I don't know if I'll keep in the I gotta go let the dog out. I want to
Yeah, of
humanize myself.
course, of
There's
course.
a little bit of personality in the old quad. So all right, cool. So this is point oh 0.02, the U.S. Open edition. Obviously, we'll catch up on some of the news before we get going on what we think of the Open. But I guess portal keeps coming and coming and coming. But Peyton Keller left Ohio. I know I saw that,
Hmm.
like, Willie was like upset about that, and like it is what it is. Like, he went to
Yeah,
Oklahoma. I mean, I thought that was cool. Oklahoma was losing some guys, and so cool to see him go out there. I mean, their coach is a Michigan guy, so
yeah,
Michigan State champ and whatnot. So cool to see him get some guys. T.J. Stewart, we talked about him a little bit last week. Like, he was Virginia Tech guy, All American, then non-qualifier, went to the rival NC State. So
yeah.
that tracks. Michigan got a couple guys. Diego Sotelo, freshman, or excuse me, graduate student from Harvard, 125er. His dad is actually the guy who. Have you ever seen like the Blood Round logo, the Blood Round podcast?
Yeah.
They got a sweet logo. His dad's the guy who designed that.
Oh,
Little
okay.
Michigan trivia for you there. So that's cool. Um, I mean, obviously Lachlan
That
McNeil's.
that's his in, right? That's how he got it.
Yeah, right. Lachlan McNeil's a big one, I guess. That's
That's the big one. He's a
yeah,
three-time All-American, right?
three-time All-American,
Team Canada.
Team Canada. So he'll be training with Will Luan, Rio Woods, Austin Gomez at Cliff Keen. I assume he stays at Cliff Keen
Right.
until the Olympics. Would be my
I mean,
guess.
Michigan has like I like that they have a brand of like how they get transfers. Feels like less random. It's more like people who have decided they've already want to like do freestyle or
Yeah,
international after college.
and they have college degrees, you know,
Yeah,
and they. I mean, they always come from the best schools in the country.
right.
I mean, North Carolina, Harvard, Stanford, Northwestern. You know, typically that's their typical transfer. Well, maybe not Gomez. Hey, Wisconsin.
Right.
And then Ethan Styles, you know, so he likes to move. 149 pounder. I think that like Nebraska's probably got a need there, but I don't see them bringing them back. They're all about we build them. We
Right.
don't buy them, we build
We
them.
don't buy him.
So he's gonna have to pay Manning to come back. Oh, Manning's like, you want back? All right, man.
Uh, that would be
That'd be cool. It's 100
a
grand to
great
come
twist
here and
on
wrestle.
the transfer portal. Yeah.
Yeah, the inverted transfer portal where like guys start paying to like, like no, we don't want you, man. Like, yeah, money's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so national duels. You know, there's a lot of buzz about the selection process. I first year they had to do something. I
Yeah.
mean, like the
So it
weird,
was top 12 get automatic bids.
yeah, and 11 accepted. Everybody except Penn State, and then the remaining come from the next. I think they went up to
Thought it was like number of qualifiers gets you that many like balls into the lottery.
maybe that's it. I know that it's weighted in some way,
Yeah.
right? Number of qualifiers would be a reasonable way to weight it for a dual tournament. I mean, the only weird notable thing I think is that Iowa State was like one out of the grouping, so they don't have a chance. So, I mean, that's going to be a pretty good dual team next year. That's not going to be able to participate, but um, I don't know. You know, it is what it
Right.
is. They weren't going to win it probably, but so the Penn State's not coming, or they declined their invitation. Is that good for the sport? I tend to think that uh, that it is sort of good for the sport. I mean, at Penn State, I mean they're going to suck out all the oxygen in the room, right? It's
Yeah.
going to make the winner completely predictable. I mean, we already know who's going to win if Penn State's there, and you know, there's so many interesting stories, right? You got like
Yeah.
you know, Antrell Taylor, who like lost his dad and brother to gun violence and became national champ. You got Vince Robinson, who never won state titles, the only potential four timer that we have out there right now. I mean, you've got all these like cool stories that like, and you know, David Taylor bringing Oklahoma State back. I mean, back. I guess
Right. Right.
they're always good, but there's just a bunch of cool stuff in like the. Maybe it's just me, but the Penn State stories are not as like interesting. I mean, like I just feel like
Hey,
they're wrestlers, like they're really good, right? Like
right.
Kasich and Levi Haynes have been like in the best clubs, the best programs, just wrestling. Like I don't
Right.
know what the story is, you know. Like uh, the best Penn State story from last year was that Barr bought a cow from Kasich's dad or something, which is like I'm not gonna say that that's like a story that may
It
not.
humanized.
Well,
Human.
right, but
They
I'm
don't just wrestle.
all I'm saying is Richard Dent. Remember Richard Dent from the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, of course.
He put on like 30, 50 pounds of muscle, right, when he went from college to pros, and it was because he got some teeth pulled. So let's just say Barr ate a cow. That sounds good. I'm not saying anything, but
Sounds like
ate
it.
a cow. got a certain ring to it for sure. Now, anyway, like I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like,
I like it. It's exciting. I think that long term, I would prefer that we crown the national champion through a dual meet format than through the individual tournament format.
oh, really?
Yes. Oh, for sure. Um, there's so many things. I mean, even if you're like a round of 12 guy, you can get what, 4 points at NCAA's.
Right? Yeah.
Um, and so it's really, really weighted towards like top three place winners,
Hmm.
right? If you could be a team with like two champions and you're a top 10 team, even though you wouldn't win a duel.
Yeah. I mean, Cornell like wins trophies with like three guys, like all the
Yeah,
time, right?
they're the classic team, but they're a decent dual team. But
Yeah.
I think that the way the national tournament is team score doesn't really. I mean, right now is an exception. Penn State would win either way,
Right.
but I think in past years there are teams that would have won a duel, and I think that is a stronger team thing than the individual scoring at the national tournament. So I like it, and I hope that once there's more parity, there starts being a little bit of controversy about, this team won the individual, but this team won the national duel. Who's
Right.
the real national champion? And we eventually move towards this national duel thing being like the top 16 teams are there.
Right. So I mean, the individual tournament is probably the best event in wrestling in the world, right?
Sure.
We're keeping that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then going with like kind of like Illinois does it, like they do a individual
Right.
and a dual tournament. All right. So I'm down
Yeah.
for that, for
Illinois
sure.
high school. High school.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure. So the other thing here, uh, one of the things I don't love about this is like CKLV and what happens to that. I mean, it seems like all these coaches, they seem to, everybody wants to have their wrestlers on a pitch clock. They're limiting the number of matches that they have and things like
Right.
that. And like, if you're going to go, three hard duels in November, are you really going to send all your starters to CKLV or like, I feel like CKLV is like one of the events in the season that I totally look forward to. Like, I think like that's kind of like the first really fun thing. There's like, there's random duel here and there. Maybe I'll drive up to CMU and watch,
Yeah.
Oklahoma or Indiana or CMU or something like that. But I mean, really, like CKLV is to me like really the beginning of the season, right? We're starting to see like top matchups and see like where people are
Yeah.
standing, and it creates all kinds of stories like in the future, for the conference tournaments, the conference season, national tournament, avenging losses, and there's all this cool stuff that happens because CKLV happens. And I don't know. I think that this is gonna reduce
Yeah.
participation in CKLV, and I think
That's
that would.
that's the trend. That's the trend.
Yeah.
Midlands is not even half of what it used to be.
Oh yeah, the holiday tournaments they're garbage.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up like pumped for Midlands, and
Mm-hmm.
when I was in Oak Park, Illinois, I went in high school, like I watched it live, and
Right.
you'd see guys like Joe Williams, who's not even in college anymore, and so you get
Mm-hmm.
to see those kind of weird matchups, like a senior level guy against a college number one ranked in folk style and stuff like that, and it's just kind of not a thing anymore. And I haven't talked to any like coaches about it, but it seems like they're just not seeing the benefit of sending your guys to too many
Yeah.
matches.
So definitely like that, and then also like uh, you look at like not this year or this last season, but every season before that, it was always like Nebraska like smashed at CKLV. It's like every
Hmm.
year, like Nebraska would win CKLV, and then like they'd have a bad tournament. This year, they decided, oh, we're not going to optimize for CKLV, and then
Right.
that totally worked out for them, right? I mean, like that was well, whatever. I don't know if that was the
Sure.
reason. Like that's it. All they had to do was not, peak for CKLV, and then they're going to be like a 100-point team, but or whatever. But
I
so
don't even I don't even mind though that like maybe some red shirts get some matches, some backups get some matches. I don't I you look forward to it. I'm not sure that the numbers will be like all that different.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the what we get, it if we get the national duels and then the price we pay as CKLV becomes less of a premier event, like to me that seems worth it. The national duels, I think, is like a investment in the future. That's something you don't need to be like a hardcore wrestling fan to like to watch. And I think any tournament that's not the national championships, you really got to be pretty hardcore to like sit in the stands all day and
Yeah.
like
Oh,
look at brackets and
I mean, well, okay. So yeah, I don't want to go to any. I've never gone to like the Michigan MSU Open or anything. Like the only tournaments, like from a fan standpoint, I think that are worth going to are, like the conference tournaments, like the Big Ten's ton of fun, and obviously the national tournament. But so that is kind of like why. I mean, if you're not, I mean, it would be great if like we got a bunch of casual fans to watch the national duels, and I think it'll be more compelling because Penn State's not there, so it'll be a more competitive type event.
right.
But
Yeah, there's a lot more to like speculate about if Penn
yeah,
State's not.
right.
I mean,
No,
who is going to win? Who's I don't know.
yeah, I don't know, right? That'll have to be a wager at some point,
Right.
like for sure. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I have no idea, right? Uh,
Yeah. There's probably at least 4 or 5 teams that have like a really decent chance.
yeah, I mean, Oklahoma State, obviously, Iowa, obviously, Nebraska, obviously, Ohio State,
Yep.
gonna have some guys that are really, really good, and yeah, right. So yeah, it should be fun. It'll be cool. Again, we'll see what happens. Uh, I wonder how many guys will like if they're just gonna run their full straight roster throughout. I bet with the national duels, I would think like probably see a lot of like second stringers in the early rounds, or
Really?
yeah, I think so. I mean, if you think you're gonna win, I don't know. I mean, it's that shot clock. You don't want to get hurt, you
Well,
know.
it's if you think you're going to win the duel like 25 to 10, you might sit some guys,
Yeah, or if you want to start it like
but I don't think you're going to send a second string guy for like the whole tournament.
no, 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 no. That's what I mean. Right, right. The early rounds.
Yeah. But that's part of like having a good team too. It's like if you have a backup, like a lot of the best teams. Oh man, what was that guy's name? Just like Penn State when they were first starting this run, a guy would get hurt and then their backup was like an All-American.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, you look at Ohio State like at the like 25-33. I mean, they're going to have McCrone, Davino, uh,
Right.
Bazakis, Kilkery. I mean, I think he's still there. I'm not sure, but I mean, so there's a number of teams that have, a lot of. They're pretty deep at weights. So anyway, it'll be cool. Lots to talk about there. So I guess we should probably talk about the U.S. Open because that's a little bit more
Sure.
immediate and not happening way down the line. So April 23rd, 27th, I decided that like we'd only talk about senior freestyle.
Sure.
Honestly, I don't know really anything about cadets, even U20, U23. Not all that compelling. I don't, or I couldn't make a compelling conversation about it. I mean, other people
Is there
could.
even U23 happening?
I think so. I think it's U20, U23 cadets.
I
Like
think it's just U20,
they're
but
doing Bader's wrestling and like senior and like
oh well, man, we all right. We got to do an episode about that.
well maybe
We'll do
after
a post
we
a
should
post that open
well we got to find out when it's happening and like
Masters
if
recap.
it's on Flow we could live stream it
Yeah.
like the senior stuff. So the guys, the senior men start 10 a.m. April 25th, and finals are April
Eastern?
26th at 6
Is that
p.m.
Eastern time?
Yeah, I assume I pulled it off Flow, and I think Flow just feeds off whatever time zone the computer's in.
Okay.
I think would that be right? 6 p.m. in Vegas. That'd be a pretty.
That would be 1
Mm,
p.m. in Vegas.
actually, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Flow. That's not
Check your. Yeah. So.
check your sources, man.
Right. So like, and again, I put the logo in there because this looks like it is sponsored by Claw, which is the new pro league, and so wish them all the best in their endeavor to make pro wrestling. Though it'll be scripted within 2 years. So, top rope action, we'll see. All right, so let's talk a little bit about The weights, these are some of the notables for 57 kilograms. Obviously, the winner of this, do they go directly to Final X against Spencer
Yes.
Lee, or there's another tournament?
Oh, wait, wait,
They go
wait.
to the semi, I think. Like they,
Yeah, yeah. There's the World Team Trials is goes to
mhm.
Final X. So the winner of this, yeah, I think they go to the finals of the World Team Trials.
No, Spencer's already in the finals.
No,
So
Spencer's in Final X.
Final
He'll
X.
wrestle the winner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Okay,
Actually, yeah, I think that's how it works. Is the winner of this, they get some advantage, I think.
there's some value in winning this, right? But
The
if it
opportunity to
right,
get mauled by
but you
Spencer.
go directly to Final X if you're in a weight where there's not a qualifier. If you
Right, and I
win,
think only 57 and 61 I
yep,
heard
that's it.
are
Yep.
the only.
hmm So who do you like here? I don't like
Ooh.
any of these guys to not get Hulk smashed by Spencer.
Yeah, that's
I'll say that.
that. I'll say that. Provo is a Stanford guy, so I'm gonna watch him. Uh,
I'm interested. Like Macron's very much a like a really lanky cradler, like top guy in folk, you know.
mhm.
And so, but some of those guys like have like some decent freestyle game. They just they like that style and folk style. So I'm interested to see if he what he's got. Um, I mean, it is 57 kilograms, but I keep thinking, man, all these guys are small. I
Yeah.
mean, like, because they're not like long guys, like Cronin and Caleb Smith and like Courtney and DeShazer. He's a little fire hydrant. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Pro will be fun.
To me, this is wide open,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. That's the cool thing about it. Like, right,
Yeah,
there's no like
it'll be fun to watch.
crazy favorites. Um, this is nuts.
Yes,
So
this is the weight class that is stacked beyond stacked.
yeah, I
So
mean,
Fix Nashawn Garrett. I always kind of root for him because he had qualified for Worlds,
right.
and then I forget if he got hurt or sick or something. Something weird happened, and then Joe Cologne took his spot and got a bronze.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
And then Nishan, I don't think he's ever placed at Worlds,
No, he always
and he was
he gives
he was on fire that year, and he has those like he scores like more than 12 points like often. He's fun to watch.
yeah, right. He battles Vito hard. Um I mean Seth Gross is definitely a guy who
That's another fan favorite for me. I
yeah.
I'm definitely I definitely root for Rashawn and Seth a lot out of this group. DeSanto is like the best heel.
Yeah, oh
And
he's the best. Yeah, definitely the best heel going. And it's really tough if you get DeSanto early cuz he's like he just punishes you. Like
right.
just these guys just show all those bruises on their arms and stuff from just like him
Yeah.
grabbing you that like you don't want him in the first round because like even if you beat him like you're gonna be all beat up by the time you so I mean there's so many of these guys. It'd be fun to see Marcus Blaze wrestle, right? I mean like
Yeah. Blaze and Forrest are high schoolers, right?
right. So Blaze
And Marcus Blaze is Joey Blaze's brother.
yeah. hmm
Yeah.
And so yeah, like Blaze against any of these guys, but Blaze DeSanto, Forrest DeSanto. I'd like to see Jax Forrest and DeSanto. Like that's a
Yeah.
that's a grown man,
Right.
you know, and like Bazakis and Davino, they've met. I mean, they're kind of in the same weight, same room. So
And then Fix, former world silver medalist. We didn't mention him.
yeah, right, yeah,
Mr. Silver. He's like second, 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 second.
um,
He took
yeah,
fourth
fourth the
his
year
seventh senior
Vito
year
beat
or
him.
whatever.
Yeah, right. No, he was in the finals his senior year, wasn't he? I think
No.
so. Yeah, he was because like he had that super controversial win over Michigan, Ragusan. He barely beat Buzakis, but
Oh.
he was in the finals his senior year, wasn't he? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Maybe because Vito was on the other side and beat Crookham, I think, and then I think it was Vito
That's
Fix.
right. The year that
Yeah.
Vito beat Roman in the finals is the year that Vito beat him in the semifinals.
Yep. Yeah. hmm
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, that's gonna get really good really quick. That weight
Yes.
class for sure. Uh, 65. I mean, these are all really good wrestlers, so it
Right.
should be interesting. So
Oh, I forgot to mark that Joey McKenna is affiliated with Penn now, but oh well.
no, he left.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He
He
left.
went
Where's
to
he at?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. So he's
Does that make him the favorite? The Magic Man picks people right before they break through.
no,
I
uh,
mean, he's really good. He might be the favorite even without my
without the
snarky.
magic.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, give me Mendez, but I would say Mendez, McKenna are the top two.
Yeah.
Valencia's not quite there yet.
And Coderant's Navy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when does he? At some point, he joins like the actual Navy, right? Or is he doing like White Hendricks
He'll
and
W cap, right?
World Class Athlete
World
Program?
class. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if he will or won't. If he wins this, he will.
Yeah, that's true. So he's got a lot
So,
riding on this.
yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, they let those Greco guys go forever. I mean,
That's true.
I mean,
And they're like kind of doing okay,
yeah, they were interviewing like Ellis Coleman, and it was like at the trials, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I was the beginning of the year. I was ready. I was done with this." And then he said, that's the thing about the army. Like, if you stop wrestling, you got to go be a soldier. So I stayed with it. That was funny.
Right.
He's like,
Do it one more go. One more go.
right. So I guess like what I was hearing is like Wyatt every year of WCAP extends a year on your service.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't source it. I just heard that. So
Okay.
like this
We'll go with
year,
it.
yeah, we'll go with it. So so I wonder if like you're Ellis Coleman and like you just went straight in and to WCAP, and then like it was a 2 year enlistment at the end. Does he have to like do 2 years?
I'm sure.
I don't know.
He could
Crazy,
do the Captain America thing where he just
right?
goes around and inspires kids.
Right. We should get him on the pod. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it'd be cool. Like maybe he just goes and does like combat training or something. He'd probably be a good
Yeah. Train,
combat instructor.
boot camp kind
Yeah,
of guy.
yeah. Hey, cool.
That'd be, yeah.
All right, 70 kilograms. My guy Will Lewan, much maligned. What's up with that? Gets a lot of. So this is funny. Yeah, Michigan's heavy here, right? You got
Pantelio?
Pantaleo, Lewan. Guess that's it. And then I guess for me it's James Green until somebody beats him.
Yeah. To me, the one I'm most interested in watching is actually Yanni.
Yeah.
There was a time when Yanni was like, he beat Bajrang, who was like ranked number one in the world, and he kind of seemed like he was breaking through to being like a world title contender. And then he lost to, I think it was Nick Lee or somebody beat him for like a chin.
So he
And I feel like he has like, I don't know, there's like a question of like, is he like even still trying to get to that level, or is he still just wrestling to wrestle?
yeah, so
Um,
Lee like he got concussed in that Lee match. I remember
right.
that. And then so he seemed to be having a lot of like health things going on.
Exactly.
But I agree. I mean, like I don't know, like I mean the difference between like completing a takedown or getting taken down and not at that level is so thin,
Yeah.
and like and he's a scrambler, right? I mean, and so
Right.
like if you lose 1.5% off your scrambling ability, I mean that could like move you like from the podium to a non-qualifier pretty quick, right? I mean, it's like
Yeah.
he's so reliant on that ability to win those wrestling positions, just getting into a position and then winning it. And so
Right.
there's a lot of athleticism and with that like I feel like that's the stuff that goes, right?
Yep.
Is that athleticism and that sort of thing. So like yeah, like you say, did he lose 2 miles per hour off his fastball, or was he just hurt and he's going to come back and be an animal, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so we'll see. I don't know. You better hope he doesn't run into Will LeBron. That's all
right?
I'm saying.
Will Lewan's got a mean gut in freestyle, right?
Yeah, he was a world champ cadet, I think.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, he's strong, holds position, and like, right, he can throw you around for sure. We'll see. Andonian's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's a twister, right? Is he?
Yeah, I think he is a
Yeah.
twister.
So, got to root for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that'll be a cool weight class. But like I said, I mean, I guess if I'm predicting anybody, I'll go with James Green until like
Okay.
somebody
I'll go with
beats.
Yanni. I'll
All
go
right.
with Yanni.
Hopefully they have a good final.
Yeah.
This is fun. I mean, I think that I really like Quincy Monday and David Carr. I like the way they wrestle.
Yep.
Like they're so I hope that's the final. Uh, I mean, Barraclue. We're gonna go back to calling him Barraclue now that like
Bear clue. Get a clue, bear clue.
Barraclue. Yeah, get a clue. Terrell, get a clue. No, that's not even nice. Stop it. Um, yeah, I mean, like Peyton Hall, it's got. I mean, I really feel like Jax does some stuff. You win some matches for sure, but I think it's Monday and Carr here.
Yeah, for sure. I Carr beat Akatani.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Carr is gonna run through this whole bracket.
Yeah. Me too. Well, Monday's tough, but yeah,
Monday's tough, but I that's my prediction. Is Carr's gonna
I
run
feel
through.
like Monday cost Carr his national championship because like the brackets fell weird, like where I think Cam beat Hamity, so that like Keegan had to just beat Cam. And like
Right.
Cam's not gonna wrestle you, man. He's ready to go to one takedown and like he'll dance with you for 7 minutes and then like and Carr had just a brutal match with Monday
Yeah.
in the other semi and then Keegan won. But I feel like definitely Carr had a tougher path that year, you know. And
Yeah.
had Hamity won, beat Cam, then he would probably given him more grief. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I agree. It's probably Carr, but not counting out Monday. So what's Hamity's freestyle story? Do you know anything?
Man, I feel like it's good, but I can look it up.
He looks like he should be good at freestyle. His wrestling style.
Right, right, right. He's a Chicago guy, right?
Yeah, Joliet, right?
Yep. Let's see. I just like his style a lot, so I'm pulling for him.
Yeah, I don't know what his parterre is like. I mean, I'm sure like his ankle picks and everything will play nice. Uh, Definitely. Um, I mean, McFadden's tough, right? Karchla kind of didn't end the
They don't
season well.
they don't have anything about his freestyle on the Oklahoma State
Yeah.
bio
So
page. Karchla is I think way better at freestyle than folk style though.
yeah, I agree. And like, and obviously Wick's good. Monday's good.
McFadden, yeah. I feel like McFadden's a favorite though.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'd say for sure.
McFadden, did he basically end Isaiah Martinez's career?
Yeah, he's a grown man.
Yeah.
Tough dude for sure. Oh, Imar is out at Illinois. Did you hear that?
No.
I didn't hear anything other than he's not on the website anymore, and he's not coaching there anymore.
Hmm.
But I don't know anything beyond that. 86. So I guess I like Zaid. You know, really tough call there. That's gonna be my
Yeah.
prediction. Uh,
Zahid, I mean, I don't okay, so between Parker, Chance, Dustin, and Rocco, I mean, if they had a four-man bracket, who would Zahid face?
Chance.
Chance for sure. Yeah.
I mean, he's what are
Yeah,
those guys gonna do to him?
that's true.
I mean, this guy's beating Jordan Burroughs, man. Like,
Yeah,
uh, I mean, if Chance is like healthy and hungry, I mean, I think he mows through those guys.
Okay.
I mean, but I mean, Rocco's good freestyle. I say Rocco's got the best chance.
Yeah.
I don't think Parker can get through that wall. I just don't
Yeah.
see it. And like Parker kills plot, so and then I mean, yeah, and I don't know a lot about Braden Thompson freestyle there, but I think this is this is a hidden chance, and like that's actually like awesome, like in terms of style matchups, right?
Yes. Yeah. That should
You
be a
got the
great.
guy that wants to win on criteria versus the guy that wants to, get 10 points in the first minute. So I
Yeah.
think like that's kind of cool. I heard like with Greco, I think they're trying it and like they're going to change criteria to the first point instead of the last point potentially for scoring. So that there's more action up front to get the other guy on the clock.
Great.
So instead of like stalling so that you get put on the clock,
So
so they put the other guy
wait,
on the
so
clock.
if you get the first point from a shot clock, that counts as criteria?
Now it's the last point.
But I
So
mean under the new rules, that will
yeah,
be
in
criteria.
Greco they're experimenting with it being the first point.
All right. Tell me what you think of this idea.
Okay.
Okay, we keep that, but if you score like a real point, like a takedown or something,
Mm-hmm.
then you get the criteria because you scored the first real point.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But how it's so like a step out is
Step out's a real point.
yeah, step out is better than the criteria or the shot
Shot clock,
clock.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shot clock, if it comes down to 1-1, then I guess you have to pick somebody, shot like 1-1 with two shot clocks. But if it's like 3-3, and just because someone got the first shot clock point, that doesn't feel right
Yeah.
that that they get the criteria in it.
Or they get a shot clock. Well, so or it's going to be weird because like if they say like okay, so they get a shot clock point, you get a takedown, they get a push out. It's 2-2.
Right.
You've got the 2 point move.
Well, then you already won that criteria.
So you start
But
with
let's say,
yeah, okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
yeah,
That makes sense. All right. Yeah, it's interesting to see Rocco. Um,
yeah, especially with all the like portal
right.
drama.
Drama. Oh, 92. So Sinclair's interesting because he beat up Barr last year in freestyle. And then Barr got to the folk style season, ate a cow, and then was like smashing everybody. So, um, yeah. So, I mean, Hidley, it is funny like listening to like wrestling podcasts and how many different ways people pronounce Hidley, Hidley, Hidley. like, like, there's for such a short name, there's a lot of different ways to say it.
Right.
So it is
Hidley. I thought it was Hidley.
right. Hidley, Hidley. I don't. I think you're
Well,
right.
I'm excited to see Cam Caffey.
Oh, really? I see him every
And he
time.
had he had like that magical season where he was like in every match.
He had a magical, and he beat Dean,
Yeah.
right? And that was like it made everybody fill out bad brackets.
Yep.
like,
Like 2 years.
yeah, right. Yeah, this guy can really do it, man. And like, so he's still at state. I still see him like he's on the bench or sitting with the wrestlers at every duel. So
Yeah.
he's still
Oh, cool.
there. So um, I don't know. Looking at this list, I guess I would say I'll bet it's Mock and Trent in the finals,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Yeah. Coin flip that one. Machiavello is like somehow always flying under the radar, even though he's like a national champ,
Right?
but he's really good and he wins.
yeah, yeah. He's good. Um, but he's got a little bit of that Marsteller in him,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, that's cool. 97 gas tank Gary Gavin Hoffman Jay Aiello. Like, I feel like you should enter this.
Right?
Like
Like the open
hmm.
division.
So I guess everybody thinks that AB's moving up to 97, right? I think that's the running consensus is that Aaron Brooks is heading that way, and he just took the season off to eat a cow, and
Yeah.
then building up that weight, and then obviously you got Snyder there, so like that's the I guess what everybody thinks is going to be the big clash of the Olympic trials.
Right.
Schneider, AB. And judging by this list, I'm having a hard time figuring out who's going to spoil that party, but
Right.
we'll see. I don't know.
Well, Gas Tank Gary was right before NIL, right? So he couldn't make his Gas Tank Gary shirt.
Yeah, right. Uh, yeah, he got robbed.
Yeah, totally robbed. If I was there, I would get one.
Yeah. Is he at? He's at Oklahoma State now too. I think. I don't know.
I'm
He's
not sure.
somewhere. I can't remember.
I thought it was Oregon State, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I think he bounced around a little bit. I think probably a good guy to have in a room if you got heavyweights.
Yep.
You know, 125. Uh, Wyatt.
Wyatt, Mr. All-American.
So what did Wyatt win? He won
Captain America.
U23 World.
What's that?
Was that U23 World that Wyatt won a couple years ago?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I was like right, probably not U20. That was like right before he wrestled Kurt Fleet in the All Star, and he was like on one leg because he was like doing all weird stuff with his knees in the finals.
Yeah.
And then right, so Zilmer's tough.
Zilmer,
Feldman.
Jordan Wood.
I feel like Feldman's gonna be like the new Cam Caffey. He had like a 2-1 match with Kirk or something national finals a couple years ago, something
Yeah.
like that, and like I mean he had a great season that season, but yeah,
Yeah.
this year not sure. Yeah, Jordan Wood, Lance. So Lance was he was a Nebraska guy, right? Didn't he? I think he wrestled for
Not
Nebraska.
sure.
And then Trent. He's got the best hair in the group, I think.
Yeah.
We'll say that. Yeah, I think Wyatt probably takes this, but
Well, I'll go with Zilmer. I'll
Zilmer.
go with.
All right, fair.
I mean, you never know. Like sometimes when you like climb that mountain, right?
Oh, I agree. You know, and freestyle's different. And the big guys.
Yep.
I mean, you watch. I mean, you know, you watch Don Bradley throwing Wyatt Hendrickson off the stage. You watch him just crushing Kirk. You know, like
Yep.
Kirk wins the national title, like rolling through everybody, and then just Don Bradley, 35 years old, just comes and smashes him.
Yeah.
Or like Kirk like lost to, I think he lost to Dom and Gwiz, which is like those guys are legit.
Those guys are good. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like there's levels to this stuff, and definitely with the big guys. So I mean that Wyatt may, and then so we don't have Paris in this list, right?
No Paris, no Gable.
No Gable. So what do
Which
you,
when's the last time Gable wrestled a freestyle match?
probably the Olympics? I would say. No,
The
no, no, no,
Olympics,
no, no,
right?
no. He came back, won the U.S. Open, and then won the trials, and then gave up the spot to Paris. He beat Paris in both of them.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember
Yeah,
that.
so they went to Final X. He beat Paris in Final X. He beat Paris at the trials, and then he gave up the spot. And then Paris went and got bronze, and then Paris got kind of cooked at the Olympics. So, yeah, I mean, I think that this list, does this list that we're looking at right now contain the U.S. Olympic representative of 2028?
This list right here?
Yeah.
No,
No?
Gable's not there. Mason's not there.
Right. Well,
I mean, Kirkfleet is on the same level as everyone on this list, I
yeah,
think.
that's true. I mean, yeah, Kirk could beat him too. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd take the under on this list representing the U.S. in the Olympics
Yeah.
for sure. And I think that like the most interesting thing is to have Wyatt win. I mean,
That would be definitely
if Wyatt loses, then it's like, oh, well,
this
then
the best storyline is for Wyatt to
I
win.
mean, I feel like
And
right.
he's living a movie year,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe that'll go the other way. He's not
Right.
done.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like Ferrari says he's going to wrestle in the Olympics. He could. He could move up. Though.
So 97 is like 215 or something. 97 kilograms
That's
is
true. He'd have to really. He'd have to eat two cows.
20. So it's like 213. That's not that off from 197. I mean, that was
Oh yeah,
Kurt Angle.
he definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
but like if
Or you
you
mean to go 125?
yeah, I'm saying right. I'm saying like if you've got AB at 97, right? I mean, you don't see many small heavyweights in the Olympics though.
No.
Like Musawi and Zare and those guys are they grown.
Yeah. Right.
Powell, all those guys are. I mean, they're all like huge people. That's like Zilmer, like used to wrestle like what he wrestled like 57 his freshman year or something. Like he's always just so tiny.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's true. AJ's probably gonna have to do 97.
Yep.
All right, so this is the weekly wager. Roy and I alternate setting bets. So somebody sets the bet, and then the other person gets to pick the side.
Yeah.
So this
Here's the
is.
bet.
Go ahead, Roy.
Will any college or high school wrestler win any weight at the U.S. Open? And this is for men's senior freestyle. You are eligible if you graduated college this year. So Wyatt Hendrickson counts, DJ Hamity counts.
Jesse
Basically
Mendez.
anyone who's graduating. Jesse Mendez, but he's not graduating, is he?
No, 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 no. He's not.
So he just counts
Yeah,
anyway.
he counts. And you're giving me Jax Forrest?
You get Jax, you get Marcus, you get the whole any other high schoolers that those.
Did I see Bo Bassett went up? I don't know. I don't know. So the Penn State guys just came in. I thought I saw it online. I didn't add it to the slide. So like I saw Bartlett's in. There were
Yeah,
like three more Penn State guys. So they would count too. I could get Bo Bartlett,
yeah, yeah.
right?
You get Bo
Yeah.
Bartlett.
So I- I'm taking the over.
You're taking the over.
I think for sure. I think I would take the over if it was 1.5.
So who are you really confident in?
Super confident that Jesse's going to win. Well, let's go back real quick. 57. All these guys are graduates, basically. I'm
Yeah.
except for Provo. So I don't think 57 comes through. 61 kilograms. I think that like there's some good guys. I guess you got to get
There's a
nation.
lot of good guys there.
Yeah. So I got Jax, Davino, Buzakis, Blaze. Eh, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I think Jesse wins, but McKenna could definitely beat him. McKenna's stronger than him. But as long as Jesse can keep the pace up and keep in wrestling positions, I think he wins. 70, I think is James Green. So he didn't. This is David Carr. Well, you might be right.
Well, DJ versus David is a maybe.
Yeah,
Carson could win.
that's true. Carson counts. Yeah, I got a shot here. I don't think I have a shot here.
Well, you got Parker and Dustin and Rocco.
I don't think any of those guys can beat Zeke. I
Yeah.
think that's a stretch. All right.
There's not even one on there. Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's Sinclair,
yeah,
but I mean, I think the Sinclair one-on-one could beat any of these guys, except maybe Cam Caffey.
right.
But like to run the table against this crew. Oh, Shoemate is a college guy too.
Yeah.
Nobody there. and then Wyatt. All right. So well, maybe I wouldn't have taken 1.5, but I'll take point 0.5. All
Right.
right. And we're going to keep this as a record spreadsheet. Once we have like more than one listener, I'll probably post a Google form too,
Okay.
and then we'll have a fan winner, like get some swag going
Hmm.
for the winning fan. So keep a little chart going. All right, best of social. What do we got going on? Let's pop over here to X. So Kyle Dake, see you in Vegas. Didn't mention a weight. Didn't last I knew he didn't officially actually enter yet. So where do you think he's gonna go?
I think 86. 86.
He's just fat and happy right now, and he's just gonna.
I,
So
I think he's trying to make the Olympic team at 86.
so if you're looking at 86, that so that's a fun match.
That
I
would be a
mean
good
that
match.
would be a fun match. 79, Hamity, Karchla. Yeah, I hope he goes 86. I
Yeah.
definitely hope he goes
I mean, why would
86.
he go? Why? I mean, this bracket, because he turned down his bid,
Right.
so he's going for the competition.
Right. Yeah.
So I think he's gonna go 86.
All right, let's do it. Let's go. So Nebraska celebrated their second place, the non-Penn State winning team. We'll call it that.
Right.
And Manning, we're building them, not buying them. I actually like Manning. I like Nebraska. I think they're a good program. So, but I mean, they're definitely relishing in the how it all played out, right?
For
And
sure.
I think it was just somebody saying, "Hey, stop optimizing for Cliff Keen. There's another
I mean,
tournament."
I hate to like bring math into it though, but they every year they've had like 8 or 9 maybes,
Yeah. Well, like,
and like this is the year that they flipped heads 9 times in a row, maybe.
yeah, right, yeah, like so, like this year, like Minnesota had like 9 blood round maybes, right?
Yeah.
But Nebraska's got like they have like they've often come to with like 5 or 6 high podium maybes,
Right.
and then this year, like, yeah, they were number one to seed. So it was interesting. I don't know. I saw an article on X. I don't know if you saw my
Wait, did
post.
you do the math on that, or you just
I
saying?
read it somewhere.
Okay.
They were like crazy number one to seed, but there was an article about like a guy from Win magazine wrote. It's on my feed, and went through and like he measures like what they were on the high school big board, and like
Yeah, yeah.
almost all the guys are like top 5, and like so Antrell Taylor and Ridge were like 12th for their weight class on the big board. They were the only double digit guys who won coming out of high school. So I mean, there are a lot of indications that like Nebraska does a good job. I mean, statistically, there are a lot of reasons to believe that they run a good program. I think like adding James Green to the room
Hmm.
for those guys is huge. I mean, it took like kind of a year of working with them, but like, I mean, Minto,
Yeah.
Taylor. I mean, kidding me? And they got Rob. I mean, I'm sure Peyton Rob's probably hanging around. I mean, they.
Yep.
So I predict Nebraska will be a good team next year. Gonna go out on a limb. Uh, so Chamizo is in the States. I thought that's always cool. I think Frank's super fun guy. So he's out of
Yeah.
Virginia Tech. Uh, throw a little love to Claw Wrestling. This is the recent attempt at Pro Wrestling League. I don't know if you've watched any of their stuff. They've got
I
an
haven't.
interesting rule set. They have pylons that like you can slap and get points on the edge of the mat. And I don't know. There's some different things. Like it's all high action, and like I mean they're evolving their rule set pretty rapidly because like when you try new things, sometimes it works, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
I'm pretty, but I'm pretty pumped. And like so they're grabbing like sort of celebrity general managers. So I don't know if you're familiar with Caden Henshaw. He's the Clash of Combats. He's a Wisconsin Parkside guy, but super big social media guy.
Okay.
Has a podcast. They haven't like I think of only one episode in the last 6 8 months, but he's definitely a known personality. One of the other GMs is Angelo Ferrari. So the Iowa one, which I think is
Right.
interesting, right? And like, so they're
Which is legal
definitely
now.
they're going out and grabbing people who people know,
Yeah.
right? So that's all good. All right, so I thought this is like no sound caption this video.
Yeah.
So I'll go first. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Golly gee, Willikers, Carter, stop trimming your pubes in the gym. All right, that's what I got. What do you got?
I had Carter on my mind too, actually, but it was just Carter and Kale, best 2 out of 3 takedowns, loser vacuums the gym.
Ah, there you go. That's a little nicer. Maybe we'll make that one a reel. Oh, I think we can like, yeah. Since we don't have any audience yet, we can be a little more risque.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is another one I saw out there. I thought it was interesting because, like, when we started in Illinois, there was only 2 divisions, and now there's 3, right? And like, so having more than 2 divisions at high school state tournaments is lame. And then the other one was also diminishing the first period to 1 or a minute and a half in the wrestlebacks at a high school state tournament is also lame. So I think that like some states, like California, are crazy. They only have 1 division, and some states like Virginia are
Yeah.
crazy because they got like 7 divisions, right? And so I think there's probably a medium. It should be more potentially around the number of schools as opposed to. I mean, Alaska's got like so many divisions, and it's like that just like cracks me up.
Yeah.
like, like that just seems crazy. But like the 1 minute period, 1.5 minute periods, like I always appreciated those in the wrestlebacks. I was personally not very good on my feet, and so like, it was also like it was beneficial in a lot of ways to for me as a wrestler. I felt to have the one
Yeah.
two two periods or give me 1 1 1. It's all good. But
The it makes the tournament run a lot faster, which is
yeah, I mean like this.
really really the point.
Yeah, the state tournament.
But
Uh,
about the divisions,
yeah, go ahead.
so I right now, at least in California, and I think in most of the country, there are 14 weight classes. I think Michigan is an anomaly, but anyway,
They've got 13,
so,
right? I think.
yeah,
Hmm.
14 weight classes, and it is super common for teams to have forfeits or just somebody that they pulled out of the hallway and said, "Hey, we need you to like hopefully get a forfeit." Like people who
Right.
are just aren't even wrestlers,
Yeah.
in the varsity, and I always thought that like say there are 3 divisions, like Division 3A should have 14 weight classes, and then Division 2A should have 13, and then Division 1A has 12. And then it really is mapping to like the size of your program.
Right.
And
That makes
you
sense.
de you decide like how can I field like a competitive team without having to like grab kids out of the hallway and make them wrestle.
Hmm. Right.
And so basically you'd have different weight classes, and you got to keep the smallest and you got to keep heavyweight. But then you just kind of redesigned, the in between. And then when you have tournaments, you'd have either a AAA tournament, a AA tournament, or a single A tournament. And you might even get some interesting like situations where somebody's wrestling up like only 2 or 3 pounds and not a full weight class.
Hmm.
Those kinds of things. And
Right.
I think it'd make it a lot more competitive. I think it'd make high school duels like more interesting to watch, less forfeits. Um, Obviously, if there's 2 less weight classes, there's going to be you'll find a way to make sure that your 2 least competitive guys get out of the lineup. You know,
Right. Yeah, I do like the. I mean, 14's a lot, right?
yeah.
For a
I mean, how many teams have more than
six.
like 25 guys on them?
Right. Yeah.
So like everyone's varsity, it's a lot.
I mean, we had a big room, right? No Park always had a huge room, right? And we like,
Yeah,
I mean, we had full teams at varsity, full teams at JV, full
yeah,
pretty near full teams at JV too. But I can tell you, if you're a JV2 heavyweight or a JV2 98 pounder or whatever it is these days, there's definitely a lot of forfeits in your record,
Right.
for sure. Um, so yeah, and like it does make sense if the smaller schools to have less wrestlers, or
Right.
they have less wrestlers, so they should have less weight classes. So yeah,
Or even if you're like a big school and you're just like competing with like basketball and soccer and just it just depends on your state what sport happens in the winter.
hmm
And you might just be like, we can only our team size is between 20 and 25. We might as well go single A and just
yeah, right.
have 12 spots.
hmm Yeah, that'd be interesting too, right? Just like allow schools to pick divisions.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, that's cool. What about the shortening of the periods? I mean, I don't know. At the state tournament, it does seem like a little cheesy, but definitely it's. I mean, there's so much tournament wrestling now. I don't know if you like how it is in
Yeah.
California, but in Michigan, it's like it seems like there's like way more tournament than duels. A couple duels and an occasional quad, and then you know that's it. And then like it's all tournaments. Because like
Right.
everybody goes, it's like there's no JV. Like the teams aren't that big because the schools are like 1,000 people. So you got like varsity, maybe a couple like extra matches if the coaches can get together and say, hey, I got a couple guys here, I got a guy here, that kind of thing. And then it's just tournaments and it's everybody.
Yeah. High school and college have diverged in that way. I feel like college isn't sending their full team to that many tournaments anymore. And you're right, high school is like all about tournaments.
Yeah, which I think is like good for getting wrestling matches, but terrible for fans. I mean, we talked about earlier in the pod like how horrible the wrestling tournament is as a fan experience, right? It's like not
Correct.
even fun for the wrestlers. You're sitting there
Yeah,
sleeping on
if
the
you're an 0-2
bleachers.
wrestler, which is
Yeah, right.
25% of all the
Uh
wrestlers,
huh. Right.
sucks.
Yeah, right. And so so people aren't going to go and like, I mean I mean duels are fun. That's why people want these dual championships. They want that dual energy and they want it. But like, it just seems like in a lot of ways schools are drifting away from it a little bit. For
Yeah, I mean, when I was at Oak Park, we did a lot of quads. I liked
yeah,
quads. You weigh in at like 7:30, you start at 9, and you're done at like noon.
right. Yeah,
It's
and you
like
got
you
good
got your three
matches in.
matches. Yeah,
hmm Yeah, for sure.
awesome.
All right, awesome.
Anyway,
The other thing was just uh, Ethan Styles back in the portal, left Nebraska, All American. Now he's traveling man again, which is, I mean, fine. I think it's interesting. Like like we talked about the portal a lot last year and whether it's money or whatever it may be. But yeah, I mean, the I saw an article talking about money in like the football side of things, and um, there was like some Rutgers DB making like 500 grand.
yeah.
It's just like so crazy. So maybe there is some more money out there than I think, but I think it is all probably football and basketball. But good luck to Ethan Styles. Like I said, maybe maybe he'll pay Nebraska to come back. They need a 49 pounder, and they got a good room for him, but I don't know if they take him back. Oh, all right. Get well soon, Kurt. Right.
Get
So
well.
successful surgery. That's good to hear. I'm glad he's staying in it. I think that like he's
So he's
got
not going to be in CGI too.
yeah, but he's definitely. I mean, he's got a shot. I mean, I think he's somebody who should stick around and make that Olympic run. You know.
Yeah, 28. He should
Mhm.
make it. Well,
Yeah.
it's up to him, but
Right.
he'd have a chance.
I feel like that for sure. All right, cool. That's everything we got from the X side of things. Let's see. I guess we got any final thoughts?
Just excited to watch the Open. Yanni is a big storyline for me to see how he does. I'll be watching all the Stanford wrestlers. We got Provo, Valencia. Online, I couldn't verify this. They said Hunter Garvin
Oh yeah.
is gonna enter. He wasn't on our list. He's not official yet, but rumor is he'll be there. And less confident rumor was that Lorenzo Norman would be there.
Nice. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's Sunday midnight is the I think I saw
The
that online.
final
Yeah,
the
like
final
when you got
deadline.
to get it in there by. So yeah, no, Open should be super fun, super cool.
Yeah,
I think that after that, well, I mean, I guess after that we've got the World Team Trials, right?
right.
Final X, but things should take a little bit of a breather. Porter should calm down a little bit, but well, it was awesome catching up, man.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Another successful podcast.
absolutely. I'm gonna.
The secret is that there is no secret.
The secret is there is no secret. And with that,